Good morning, students. Today, I'm coming again to discuss the remaining part of the lesson tissue. And today, I'm getting the revised syllabus, reduced syllabus actually, for your annual examination in 2022. Here, so many lessons are omitted. I think 2 lessons are omitted. And again, some part of the lessons are it is omitted, as last year also it did. But luckily, those that lesson we are discussing, that is the tissue. So this lesson is not reduced. It is the whole lesson you have to read. It is there in the syllabus. So we are just coming to the end of this lesson. Last day we have discussed about the connective tissue. I explained about the connective tissue. So various types of connective tissues are there, starting from blood, then bone, cartilage, ligament, areolar tissue, then adipose tissue. Like so many connective tissue we have discussed. And today I'm going to discuss about the muscular tissue. So before starting this muscular tissue, I want to tell you that muscular tissue is that tissue which makes the movement of one particular organ of our body. So any moving organ, any moving part of our body. So it is the movement is possible because of the muscles. So which organ is moving or where there is the movement in our body, there the muscles must be present. Muscular tissue is there. So let me start the board first. Share the board first with you. Yes, our board is coming. So we are going to discuss about the muscular tissue. Muscular tissue. So this muscular tissue, as already I told you, that muscular tissue is present only the moving parts of the body, because the muscles are those tissue which can move. But some of the muscles we can move by our will, and some of them automatically they moves, but they moves. Okay, so which makes the organ to move. So this muscular tissue, 3 types of muscular tissue we will discuss. First of all, that is the voluntary muscular tissue, or only muscle. You can write voluntary muscle or voluntary muscular tissue. Secondly, the involuntary muscle. And thirdly, the cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle. So these 3 are the main types of muscular tissue. So one by one we will discuss today. So first of all, the voluntary muscle or voluntary muscular tissue. So this word voluntary, I think you can guess the voluntary means those organs, or those means things which we can control by our will, that is called voluntary. Okay, so as this name is voluntary muscle, that means definitely you can guess that this type of muscles can be moved by our will. If you want to move, we can move it. It can be controlled by our will. So that is the voluntary muscle. And this the cells of this tissue have some peculiar structures. So firstly, I want to discuss about them. So first of all, the cells are long. Okay, the cells are long, cylindrical. That means cylinder-like. Okay, cylindrical and unbranched. Okay, long, cylindrical and unbranched. unbalanced. So these are these three are the main characteristics of the cells of this tissue. Secondly, so they have some stripes. This is the tissue. So they have some dark and light stripes in them, like like the zebra. In the body of the zebra, we are looking at the dark and light stripes. So like that, dark and light stripes we are looking in the cells. Okay, in the cells we are looking this type of stripes. So this is the reason why they are also said as striated. Striated muscles. And you will observe that in this type of cells, so not only one, more than one nucleus are there. So that means multi-nucleated. This type of cells are multi-nucleated. So what are the characteristics? They are long, cylinder-like, unbranched. Then they have some dark and bright stripes in them, due to which they are also said as striated muscles, and they are multi-nucleated. That means more than one nucleus is there in one cell. One cell generally contains one nucleus, but here more than one nucleus is there. Okay. Then this type of tissue, this type of muscles, most often we are getting in along with the bones. Okay, where there is a bone, along with the bones, we are getting this, and due to which they can be also said as skeletal muscles also. Skeletal word is coming from the skeleton. Okay, so as they are present along with the bone, so they are also said as the skeletal muscles. So how many names we are getting? First of all, they are voluntary muscles because they can be controlled by our will. Secondly, they are striated muscles. They can be called as the striated muscles because they have some dark and bright stripes in their cells. And thirdly, we can say them as a skeletal muscle also because they are connected with the bone, or they are attached with the bones. So this is their names. And there's, if we discuss about their structure, then they are long, cylindrical, unbranched, and multi-nucleated. So that is about the voluntary muscle. I hope you can remember. Next, we are coming to the involuntary muscle. Involuntary muscle. Okay. So from the word, I think you can guess, as it is involuntary, that means it cannot be controlled by our will. So if we think about the structure of the cell, then these cells are they are like a they're pointed at the ends like this, tapering at the ends. So in the starting point and in the end point, they are tapering. That means they are pointed, while the other part is wide. So their shape is like this. And secondly, they are branched. Okay, they have so many branches are there. Many branches we will get from that, and they are uninucleated. Uninucleated means they have only one nucleus in them. So what are the characteristics I told? They are long but pointed ends. The cells of the involuntary muscle, it is pointed ends. They are uninucleated. They have only one nucleus in them. They are branched, and one more important thing is that they do not have the black and not black and white, dark and bright stripes in them. So it is also said as the unstriated, because they do not have the dark and bright stripes in them. So involuntary muscles are those which cannot be controlled by our will. They are unstriated. They do not have the stripes in them. The cells they are pointed at the ends. They are long, have only one nucleus in them, and they are generally branched. Okay, so that is about the involuntary muscle. Next, we are coming to the cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle. So this particular muscle has one speciality. It is what you see. Cardiac muscle is, it is the combination of voluntary and involuntary muscles. Okay, that means some characteristics of the cardiac muscles are like the voluntary muscles, and some characteristics are like the involuntary muscles. So what are similar to voluntary muscles? I want to tell you. So their shape is also cylindrical. Okay, their shape is also cylindrical, as the voluntary muscles. Okay, but as voluntary muscles are multinucleated, but this is not multinucleated. It is only uninucleated, cylindrical but uninucleated. So this uninucleated, it is similar to the involuntary one. Again, so this particular cardiac muscle, so they show a rhythmic contraction and relaxation throughout the life. That means they start to vibrate or start to contract and relax when they born, when the baby born, and it stops when one person dies. That means that the whole life, without any rest, they are contracting and relaxing. So that is one speciality of this particular tissue, and this is the reason they are present where? In the heart, because heart is the organ. In our body, heart is the organ which is not taking rest. Even our brain also takes rest sometimes, but heart never takes rest. If the heart will take rest, then one person will die. Okay, so when one person born, at that time the heart starts to beat, and when he or she dies, at that time the heart stops to beat. So this heart is made up of this cardiac muscle. So that is why heart related anything, it is said as a cardiac. For example, cardiac cardiography, cardiac failure. So like this heart related topics. Okay. So now what have you learned about the cardiac muscle? That cardiac muscle, it is a combination of the voluntary muscle and involuntary muscle. As the voluntary muscle is, the shape of the cell is cylindrical. Okay. But as the involuntary muscle, they are uninucleated or they are branched also, like the involuntary muscle. So like this, they are showing both the characteristics of voluntary and involuntary. Secondly, the main speciality of this cardiac muscle is that the whole life they are able to contract and relax without any rest, without stopping. So that is another peculiarity of this muscle, and it cannot be controlled by the will. That also you remember, and not mostly, it is present in the heart. Our heart is made up of this type of tissue, cardiac tissue or cardiac muscle, and that is why heart related anything, it is said as the cardiac failure, cardiac cardiography, echocardiography, like this type. So I hope it is clear to you. Next we will come to another part of this lesson, and that is the last part. That is the nervous tissue. Okay, nervous tissue. So this nervous tissue is, it is a nerve. Nervous tissue means the nerves which are giving us the sense. Okay, when we are coming to know about something, we feel something. Let it is hot, it is cold, it is rough, it is plain, like this feelings or that sense. That sense is because of the nervous tissue. So in class 10, we will learn more about nervous tissue, but in class 9 here, briefly, shortly, it is given that I want to tell you. So this nervous tissue is made up of, definitely the cells are there. So the single cell or nerve cell, okay, the nerve cell is also said as the neuron. So neuron is the structural and functional unit of the nervous tissue. So this neuron looks like this one. This diagram is very important. In junior classes also you have drawn, I think, this diagram. So this diagram of one neuron is like this. Roughly I'm drawing. So here you will get one head region. That is the one bigger part you are looking. That is the head region, or you can say the cell body, which contains the nucleus there. This part is say the cell body or head region. So it contains the nucleus. This is the nucleus. Okay, the nucleus. And one tail region is there. Cell body and one tail region. This is the tail region. Okay. And that is, you can say, the nerve processes. Okay. Nerve processes. So that means one neuron or one nerve cell contains two parts. Okay, one is the cell body and another one is the nerve processes. So cell body contains the nucleus, it is the bigger part of the neuron. And the nerve processes, two types of nerve processes we are getting. Nerve processes. Two types of nerve processes we are getting. One is the axon and one is the dendrite. So here in this diagram, you are looking at this short hair-like structures. Here also I'm doing. So these short hair-like structures are the dendrites, and this long tail-like structure you see from here to there, this long tail-like structure, it is the axon. Okay, so these two types of nerve processes are also there, axon and dendrite. And if you want to know about the difference between axon and dendrite, so you can write first of all axon, that is a long one. Axon is long tail-like structure and dendrites are short. Okay? Dendrites are short. Secondly, you can say the axon, you see the diagram. So axon only one, but dendrites more than one. Okay, so many dendrites may be present. So axon only one. So this one more than one. And third difference, if you want to know, then you see axon through this axon, the nerve impulses, that means those responses, nerve responses, nerve impulses, it is say. So that nerve impulses goes out of the cell. Actually, you will learn in higher classes that these nerve impulses are produced, then they are carried from one to another neuron. Neurons are arranged like this, one by one, 10 neurons are arranged. So this response first enters into one neuron, then goes out from that neuron and jump to the second neuron, then through the second neuron goes to the third, then fourth, like this. After one by one neuron, it is passing. So this nerve impulse is firstly brought inside the cell through the dendrite, and they are taken out of the cell through the axon. So which one is the tail-like structure I already told. So dendrite brings the impulses inside the cell and axon brings it out of the cell. So that differences you can write about this axon and dendrite. So this explanation is over. Here nothing to explain more. So I hope you understood. And if you did not understand, then you let me know in our future classes, or you can send me a message also. You can ask me your doubts. And again, lastly, I want to tell you one answer. So that is question number 10, page number 79. I have written here the answer. So I want to share with you. So firstly, name the following. Number A, tissue that forms the inner lining of our mouth. So you will write the answer, simple squamous. Number B, tissue that connects muscle to bone in humans. You will write tendon. Number C, tissue that transports food in plants. You write phloem. Number D, tissue that stores fat in our body. You will write the adipose tissue. Then number E, connective tissue with a fluid matrix, that you will write the blood. Then number F, tissue present in the brain, you will write nervous tissue. So these answers you can write. That I want to share with you. Again, other questions I think you can answer. Those are here. If you get failure or if you feel problem, then you do not forget to let me know, because if you say me, then only I can answer you. So that is for today, and you surely let me know about your doubts in future. Okay, thank you and have a good day.